Okay. Hello, roomies. We're back. My name is Pong.
And this is Kerwin.
Marcos here.
Welcome to another episode of Room 510. Today, we'll be talking about health and fitness. In this episode, we are joined by health and fitness expert, Coach Jan Christian Besinga. He is here actually to talk about important stuff about the health and fitness industry. If you haven't subscribed yet, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button or that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we drop a new episode. Or if you have any comments or suggestions, just leave it in the comments section below. Or follow this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. So, Coach John, welcome to Room 510.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
inviting me.
for accepting the invitation on such a short
Welcome.
notice.
No problem.
I know you're very busy lately.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I can find time for
thank
this
you.
one.
Good
So,
to hear.
Let's talk about fitness.
Yeah.
Let's first define the word fitness.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like to jump from what you mentioned about health and fitness. So both these terms is equivalent to wellness. So basically, in terms of wellness, it's about being healthy and being fit. Now, in terms of being healthy, we have our somehow health markers to see. So that's where our blood chem would come in, our cholesterol, our blood sugar, all those things. Those are our health markers in terms of being healthy. What's inside? Now, in terms of being fit, it's just all about being fit to do something. So, na-mention to ni Doc before, it's about relative to your age, relative to somehow to your gender, and then also relative to your physical attributes.
So it's more of your physical ability to
Abilities,
do
yes.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So both of them, if ever you're healthy with the health markers internally, and then you're fit to do something, to lift something, then you are very well in terms of a human being. So that's
this
how-
changes from age to age. So like
Yes.
a 20-year-old would be lifting or doing something
Yes.
more ba or less than somebody in their 50s.
Well, in ano naman in not in layman's term, not if you think about it, for those who are in their 50s should not is not advised to lift heavy stuff already. So
Okay.
approximate
Yes.
lang sa ano niya. Approximate
Although
lang
malayo
talaga
pa
sa
tayo
age
naman
niya.
siya.
So how do you do that? Like, is there a way? Is there a method for you to find out? Like, for example, a 20-year-old can just lift maximum or minimum weight.
Ang what's very beautiful about the human body is that we really don't know up to what extent that we could do. It's just that we need to taper it down first. So, we'll try. Sige, lift ka muna 5 pounds. Then from there,
So you'll start from the lowest.
yes, as much as possible. If ever, me as a coach, I do ask first, what's your, do you have any injuries? Do you have any, well, in terms of the health markers, is there anything that I should be concerned of before we do something? And then from there on, when was your last workout? Things like that. Or what do you do in terms of physical activity? So from there, I could already gauge, probably by this time, he could still lift this certain weight before I proceed to giving him more. So if ever you're someone new who would approach me and just ask me, Coach, what shall I do? So we'll go first with the basics, which is the functional movements and the weights that's gonna be very functional for you in everyday living. So from there, then slowly increase. Then we'll see if ever, you'd never know how a 50-year-old could lift certain weights. Imagine, right now I do have one
So
client.
this varies from person to person
Yeah,
then.
relative
So
na talaga siya.
hindi siya automatic na across the board na all 50 should be able to lift this
Yes.
much. So hindi rin.
Yes. Ang ano lang talaga dun is that you should be very keen, especially for these people who are under this age already. Meaning to say, mas sensitive ka sa kanila as compared to those who are younger. But I'm not saying na you're taking your eyes off with the younger ones. Parang bahala na sila ganun. No. The thing there is that you should just be careful in terms of what you're giving for those na medyo nasa older years na. Sa mga ganun.
Because that's a very common mistake especially for people who are starting to lift weights.
Yeah.
They'll just siguro for ego boost, they would go for the heaviest, diba?
True.
And the instructor would tell you, oh, don't lift that weight.
Mm-mm.
You try to lift the 10 pounds first, and then move on to the next. 10 pounds? Yan ang ililift ko.
Yeah.
Ang daming girls dyan na nanonood.
Yun na.
Yan yung ano eh. Yan, that's the common mistake for ano. Pero what they don't know is it's very important for your muscles. Kasi parang
To start light
yeah. If you start with heavy lifting kasi you might injure your ano eh,
Very true.
your muscles.
And then I'd like to add on that, Doc, no? Apart from the weight, very ano talaga sa akin is that we're very fond of this concept about focus on 3 things: mechanics, tapos intensity. Mechanics, the form, which is the form, and then after that, if ever makita mo na yung okay na yung form niya, then that's the time you put in intensity. Then after that, you go back. Kasi if ever you put in intensity already, then meaning na intensity kasi it's either speed or heavier.
Resistance.
So, resistance, that's the one. So if ever na magi-increase ka nito, susunod niyan would be mawawala yung form. So that's the reason why okay ka na sa 5 pounds. Kaya na natin siya. Ganda na ng form mo sa 5 pounds. So sige, let's challenge. Let's go for 10 pounds. Doon mo makikita sa 10 pounds medyo nahihirapan siya. Iba
medyo
na yung
nagbabago
form.
na naman yung form.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why consistency. There's the word. So mechanics, consistency, intensity. So we focus first on mechanics. If ever makuha mo na siya, be consistent.
That's the form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The form. And then be consistent on the form. If ever consistent ka na doon, then that's the time we put in intensity.
So, anong problem natin with form?
No, form comes safety.
Yeah.
If you have the proper form, proper body mechanics, then siguro you're safe with carrying heavy weights, heavy loads.
Specifically on
And
carrying.
also, if I may add, and also if you don't have the right form, you won't be targeting the
Right muscle
the right
It's
muscle
really,
group.
it's still quality over quantity.
Yeah. True.
So when lifting weights, kasi even if it's just 4 or 5 reps, but as long as it's in a proper form, you're good. As opposed to 10 reps and then siguro hindi yung range of motion mo hindi full. So hindi effective yun sa build up ng muscle mo.
Anong typical example natin ito? Yung maling form? I mean, common mistake talaga.
Common mistake.
Sa-
Not a
There are
common
a
mistake. Yeah. Pero ang I focus on the functional of a person or a human being or a body. Very basic would be a deadlift. So how does that translate to everyday living? Simple as carrying something from the floor, picking up something from the floor, and then lifting it up. So most of the people or most of those not unaware of the proper form of lifting something from the floor, naga-arc yung back. So tendency nun, lower back pain. So if I could just perform it right now, but anyway, ang tendency kasi is
Sige, dito.
akit na ba ako? Pero yun lang.
Or it's from the get-go na syempre you're gonna lift heavy weights from the floor. You shouldn't be modest about your joints kasi you don't use only one joint, which is the hips or your back. Use your knees also, and maybe we can talk about the center of gravity also. Dapat dapat close to the ground,
Yeah,
or
as much as possible.
And it also
That way-
doesn't apply sa It doesn't only apply to lifting heavy weights also. It also applies to archery. Diba? If you don't have the right form, you might not you
as
might not
with
hit the
everything,
target.
archery and also that's being fit. I mean, if you have the proper form and then you're lifting siguro not your usual already, maybe if your age is, that's what I'm trying to say a while ago, no? Parang if you're like 21 years old or maybe around 40s, ganyan. Tapos but you're lifting as much as the 21-year-old. So you're more than fit or you're fit, right?
Yeah. You're on the above fit na
above
already.
fit.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
But
athletic
if you're
part.
just 20, is there such a thing na if you're 20 or 40 and then you're lifting as an age-specific weights na ito, kaya lang to ng 40 years old.
Supposedly,
And then you will call you fit.
Well, it's also relative because probably that 20 years old is not yet ready to lift that certain weight. Probably yung background niya, sedentary lifestyle. So there's a lot of
So
aspects
you
need
also
to
have to
consider.
consider the medical history of
Yes,
a
that's one.
client.
So yung mga injuries
First and
pa.
foremost,
Yeah.
right?
So yung
Medical
logic
history.
natin kanina with yung proper form is tama ba? You want to distribute yung whatever you're doing to more than just one muscle group or one to just more
Yes.
than
Correct,
one
yeah.
joint.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yung parang load bearing niya isn't concentrated on
Yeah.
sa
Exactly.
lower back
Don't
mo lang.
put much
So,
burden on one joint
Yeah.
or one body part.
uh-huh.
So every part, most of the parts should contribute to that.
In fact, if I may add pa nga,
Lessening injury.
sa other than good point yung nasabi mo na parang i-unload mo siya sa certain isi-spread out mo yung yung effort ng body mo. Kasi I've been also communicating closely with physiotherapists. So I do I'm also competing as a coach. So every week I do visit my physiotherapist here in Zamboanga. So ang parati niya talaga sinasabi is proper form. Kasi yung effect nun is that there would be a tendency na yung other arm mo longer, yung other hip mo higher, parang ganun, because hindi proper yung form mo.
Yeah.
So the same as thing, I do have my faults also. So even though na I'm very knowledgeable about certain things, about fitness and health and fitness, but because of my history na which naging ganito na ako ngayon.
Mannerism mo.
Yeah, the mannerism mo. So
force of habit rin.
yeah,
Force of
and then
habit.
simple as carrying a bag na one-sided lang, yun, makikita na talaga na ganito na yung form ng back niya. Or yung hips niya, higher yung right side. So yun yung kino-correct somehow. Personally, that's the thing that I'm correcting right now. It's the hips that I have. So medyo higher yung right ko than my left.
Pag yung may nakikita ka mga guys na medyo mas malaki yung right na forearm nila at saka yung wrist. Ano ibig
So,
sabihin?
ibig sabihin,
Papa.
right hand na gamit niya.
He's a right-handed person. Ganun lang. As simple as that. So I just tell them, use their left next time. Ha?
So aside from so how do you go about yung health and fitness like for everyday Joe, like, how would you know na kailangan mo na rin pala?
Okay.
I mean, kasi
You just feel it. Ikaw rin mismo, kailangan ko na pala. Or you tell me now, 'di ba, parang at certain point in your life na parang teka, parang unfit na ako or medyo sedentary ako. 'Di ba?
that's for us na medyo conscious tayo with what we're feeling,
Yeah.
yung itsura natin. Pero
Would there be
that's
parang a
a sign.
standard na everyday
Oo,
ganito
na-
ang gawin? Ganun?
I mean, for people na hindi sila masyadong conscious sa body nila or sa well-being nila. So aside from being fat, may ibang indicators pa ba?
Well, may talaga, between the health and the fitness, di ba yung mention ko kanina, health markers, and then are you fit to do something? I'd rather focus first on yung health markers. Because
Which
if
are?
ever yung health markers mo, like you have high sugar, you have bad cholesterol, or high cholesterol na. So, it's parang susunod na dun, you couldn't be fit anymore. Because you're not able to do things na a certain way. So, for me, sabihin ko, at the end of the day, mataas na yung sugar ko, or that's the reason why you need to have an annual physical exam so that you would know na I'm still on the healthy side. So, ang lang dun is that you need to be aware annually na health-wise, health markers-wise, you're still okay.
So when should you start doing this? Yung
as much as possible every year.
kasi hindi siya common for us or at least for
okay.
most people to have their blood check.
Well,
mga
actually,
blood
if you
works
reach
nila,
40
diba?
years old above, you should do that annually.
Yeah.
Even if you're not feeling anything. I mean, even if you're not feeling something about it.
Pero,
Parang
pero,
medyo-
yun nga yung point ko eh. Up until you're 40, hindi mo pa iniisip yan. Hindi mo pa iniisip na magpa-check ka ng
Yeah.
dugo mo. Pero there are a lot of people, kahit even in their 20s, that are
Well,
unfit.
and
diba?
that's the common advice. No, when you reach 40 years old, you start to have your blood checked and everything. No, but nowadays we see 30 years old, 29, even in their late 20s. You know, having cardiac arrest and
exactly.
and these are very surprising for their age.
Yeah.
So
Even for people na hindi mataba.
yeah,
Diba?
exactly. Oh.
So-
You would be surprised. Like for example, like me, my cholesterol are very high for a very slim, thin person. But yun na nga sabi ko kanina, it's never your physical appearance.
Yeah, hindi
your,
engage yun eh.
yeah.
I know
Without-
someone na
without
obese,
going,
pero okay yung ano
Health
niya,
markers niya.
Without going to
markers
the biomarkers or the laboratories or whatever you call it, you can immediately say if a person is healthy or not from his habits.
Lifestyle din.
Lifestyle, like how often do you stay up late at night or what time do you rest?
Amount of
Guilty.
sleep.
Diba? So these are the things that you have to ask before even going to the biomarkers. Just the medical history or the lifestyle of a person alone would tell you that the person is healthy or not.
My take on that lang.
Or at
kasi
least will give you an idea.
yeah, you do it because you love to, not do it because you have to.
You have to.
Okay, you have to because I'm already feeling unfit. Do it because you love your body. I mean, you
Exactly.
want to stay fit. So do it early. Hindi pa yung biomarkers mo hindi pa over the top.
Yes.
Do it now. Prevention is better than cure. So
Yes.
stick,
Kasi
diba?
by the time na you have to, baka medyo...
You don't have to
ano
go
ka
to
na.
the gym. You just have to be active
Yeah.
at par with your age. So if you're 20 years old, engage in sports fit for the 20 years old, and then you work from there.
Exactly. Let me tell you a story. I started team sports at a very young age. I never saw exercise as a way to a healthy or lifestyle. No, it is more of a necessity because it was part of the sport that I was playing. It was a habit when I was a teenager, so it stuck. And then later on in life, I realized na I was already having a sedentary lifestyle and I started to feel like my body is never the same since I was playing sports. So that triggered me to go back to being healthy. Not necessarily competing.
Yeah.
Not necessarily going to the gym. It started with my lifestyle, my habit. I started to go back with my sleeping habits of sleeping early and waking up early, and then avoiding carbonated drinks, and then avoiding parties late at night, and then what else? All the bad habits. It started with just eliminating all of those things, and then later on, as I got healthier, I was able to engage into different physical activities like running. Kasi when I had a sedentary lifestyle, I couldn't do it eh. So medyo nagbago ang habit ko, nagbago na rin yung katawan ko. All my biomarkers started to go
Be normal.
normal.
Yeah.
And so I started to feel good again about myself. And like I said, we were talking about when is the right time for you to exercise or when is the right time. Do you have a certain age? If you ask me, wala talagang certain age eh. Gagaya nga sabi ni Marcus, if you want to work out just because you want to feel good, you want to look good, then go work out. If you want to work out or if you want to exercise because you feel there's something wrong with you, you feel like you're unhealthy, then go work out. So I think it varies from person to person.
Yeah, very very relative to each one. In fact, I'd like to pick up some things from what you said. Yung the very basic term na sinabi mo, feel good and look good. Probably I couldn't share when is the right time. How to know probably would be if you feel good and then you look good. Well, these are markers for a person. First would be the feel good. Na parang iba naman talaga yung pakiramdam ko. I'm not feeling well, meaning dati go up and down ako ng stairs very comfortably. Ngayon parang iba naman, hingal na ako.
Yeah.
And then apart from that, what society's telling us, looking good. So if you yourself could already tell yourself na I don't feel good and then I don't look good, then there's something you need to do something about yourself already.
Pero feeling good and looking good are
Relative to the person.
relative eh. So, paano kapag mataba ka pero masaya ka naman?
Yeah.
Wala ka naman nararamdaman. Is it bad ba na...
Well, good for you. like not totally bad. Like health wise, I think it's alarming kasi you see yourself healthy, But I don't think so that the biomarkers will say so.
Pero what if yung biomarkers mo would say so?
What do you mean? So, parang abnormally high yung biomarkers niya? Or
No,
Normal.
abnormally healthy, parang gano'n.
Healthy pa rin.
Normal ka
so,
pero
parang it
medyo
doesn't jive.
chubby-chubby ka.
You're in the heavyweight side, but your biomarkers are okay. Then I guess you're just at risk of having disease. You're still healthy. You're just slightly overweight.
Yeah.
Pero you're still healthy. I couldn't say you're fit. Because fit doesn't have too much fat on your body.
Yeah.
So that's one, diba? Two is yung biomarkers mo. So dapat balance lahat yung things na para magiging fit ka. But you're healthy. You're in a way na you're doing good, but you're going there, so you better watch out.
Yeah.
Parang ganon. So if you're fat, sige, sorry for the poor choice of word, no. You should watch out. Kasi you're at risk already for certain diseases.
So which
So
in
that
particular
alone,
heart diseases?
that alone would make you think na, okay, I'm fat. So I should go to the gym. I should work out. Or I should diet. Or I should go to the laboratory and have myself self-check. So yun yung start mo.
And
So-
and it's parang it's not a guarantee na if you have normal biomarkers for now,
Yeah,
it's going to be
you're at
normal like
risk
that for a
kasi.
long time.
You're at risk.
Being overweight is a risk already.
So as opposed to saying na you're fit, pero yung biomarkers mo pala surging high. So yun din. So akala ko fit ako, okay pala yung katawan ko. Yung body weight ko is good for my height. Pero upon checking your biomarkers, yun, makita mo hindi pala ako fit. So what do? You diet, you go to the gym.
And being fit doesn't really translate to a healthy body automatically.
Yeah, mentally fit,
Yeah.
physically fit, emotionally fit. That's it.
You can be physically
Daming
fit,
aspects
but
yun,
you're not healthy. Like American football players are physically fit. But if you try to look at their bones, you try to look at their muscles,
See?
diba? Medyo,
It's a generalized aspect.
Yeah.
Being fit.
Very true.
medyo may mga tears na, medyo may mga spinal cord injury na sila, or so that's not healthy na eh. So kaya nga, fit doesn't necessarily translate to being healthy right away. Automatic.
Pero
no.
normally, aesthetically, being fat is generally is not good.
You're at high risk.
High risk.
You're at high risk. Kasi may iba naman na
Let's just omit the word aesthetically. Kasi parang generally being fat is how do you say that? Parang
That's what it is. Diba? Superficial lang
okay,
naman
sige.
din talaga.
So being fat is you're putting yourself at risk
Yeah,
to certain
Medically speaking, fat is overweight.
overweight.
So
Yeah.
it's overweight. There you go.
It's
You're
not
in the
it's not
overweight
normal.
side.
Yeah.
It's also saying that you're underweight. You're underweight. So you're not in the normal
Normal range.
category range.
So
So you have to do
anong-
something about it. Even if you're feeling well.
Which is what? Cutting
Workout.
down, diet?
Well, if you're overweight,
Overweight.
then cut down.
underweight naman.
You can start
Your
with
weight is in tune, supposedly, is in tune with your height.
The BMI.
the
So,
BMI. Yeah.
So if you're this high, so you should see kung saan yung weight mo dapat doon.
So
So hindi kung medyo mataas hindi siya so you should do something about it.
So
Maybe
this
diet.
is applicable to all.
Everyone.
Yes, everyone.
okay.
It's a general
So how much of this is can be attributed to diet and workout? So generally for diet ba to or
generally
Yes.
80%
Yeah,
it's gonna
from the
be
get go,
from the
80%
get-
diet
yeah.
and then 20%
Because there are
workout.
athletes, several professional athletes who we think who are fit, but if you try to look at their biomarkers, they're not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yun
diba?
na nga eh.
one example. Sorry, Doc, if
Yeah.
ever ma-example
sure.
kita. Na we talked about this before that in terms
Akala
of
ko example mo si
actually siya
na
talaga
fit
si
na
Doc.
din.
Ako nga talaga.
ikaw nga
Oo. Siyempre. Ako talaga yan.
Ang
Sino
ano
pa naman?
kasi, di ba Doc, you mentioned sa akin before that
kinakabahan ako dyan.
Oo, kaya nga.
Pag nagsabi siya si Marcus ang fit na example, kinakabahan ako eh.
ang ano kasi before that
Kasi it's a stark contrast. Sige,
yeah,
sige.
so kay Doc naman is that in terms of genes wise, ganito yung physique niya talaga. So no matter how
Tayo
he
daw, tayo.
eats, yan. Yan. So in terms of the genes niya, hindi talaga siya yung tipo na lalakit talaga. No, not the overweight na side. May tendency mag-underweight, but overweight lesser yung tendency ni Doc.
So
Kaya
So parang,
for some,
your body type is ectomorph. Tama
Yeah,
ba?
yeah.
yes.
The-
So ang tendency din ni Doc is for some, let's say for ganito na ang nangyayari is they can outwork a bad diet. So that's what they're doing. I can just eat anything I want because hindi naman ako lumalaki. Because ganito yung genes ko. Pero, doon na papasok yung sabi nyo, biomarkers. Kung
Yes.
titignan mo niya yung
Yeah.
cholesterol niya, di ba? Na-mention mo kanina daw.
Ang ganda ng physique eh. Pero
Oo.
pag titignan mo yung loob,
Yun na.
pulok pala.
Maganda rin.
Patingin nga.
Wait. Before this go any further, my biomarkers are okay.
Alright.
Yun tayo. Pero yun lang kasi yung common notion ng tao eh. In fact, I may share, most of my clients who comes to me, siya nga, Coach, can you give me a workout so that I can eat the things that I want? Siya nga, seriously? Like, what do you want? Siya, cakes, ice cream, things like that, donuts, anything. Siya nga, are you
Medisina na lang ang ibibigay ko. Huwag ko na mag-workout.
Pwede.
Naglulukohan tayo eh.
Doktor pa lang kailangan mo
Hindi health and fitness coach.
Actually, yun din talaga sinasabi ko. Siya nga, ako
Punta
ba
ka
talaga
na lang
dapat
sa
puntahan?
endocrinologist to. Ayan, no? I-refer
tapos na.
kita.
But you won't look good.
Yeah.
That's why you're going to the gym.
Yun eh. At the end of the day, you can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, it's really more of sacrificing, really more of tapering down. Ako, as a coach, I don't totally restrict the person. I just tell them na it's just like the 80-20 concept of our nutrition and exercise or workout. 80% of the time, eat right.
Yes.
20% of the time, give yourself that leeway or that opportunity na ma-taste mo din yung mga good things
It
in
sounds
life.
so easy.
Like parang cheat
Yeah.
day.
So
Yeah.
it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
80% diet, right diet. But come on, I'm trying hard to get this proper diet talaga. Like coach said, no, parang na-overwork yung diet ko. Yeah, kasi I'm trying to bulk up. So what do? I eat a lot. And then hindi rin lumalaki. So eat a lot.
Ang alin?
Food.
The inside, the health markers.
para lumaki.
Specific.
Come on. Okay.
But anyways,
Tapos,
yeah. Anyways,
I got lost.
Hindi, you're saying that you're eating too much and
Yeah,
then
but I
you're-
don't get big. So
Okay.
nagiging fit lang, nagiging buff lang, pero yung bulky talaga wala. So magda-diet ako. Kasi para maging fit na
Well,
lang.
it boils down to genetics again, di ba?
Yeah. So
Malaking factor.
I have to just settle for it. Ganun na lang.
Yeah.
Too bad no genes to.
Well, lang din, at the end of the day, what really matters most is how well you are.
Yes.
Meaning to say, yes, okay na yung health markers mo, like what you mentioned, Doc. Ang kasi dito is in terms of mindsetting the person. Me as a coach, I don't just focus on setting their body, setting their biomarkers correctly, but also their mindset. I'd like them to go for
The right motivation
Right
for
motivation, yes.
for exercising.
Yes. Kasi it's not just about the short term, it's the long term. So, ang goal ko as a coach is not about you getting the six-pack abs. My goal for you is when you reach 70, you could still play with your apo.
Correct.
You could still jog outside. You could still walk with your significant
You
other.
should be functional.
You should still be functional by that age. So, gone are the days na physique na lang talaga all the time. So, yes, biomarkers will always be there. Annual physical exam, all those things. And then being fit goes a long way. Being well goes really, really a long way. So, yun lang din. Mindsetting. So, na-mention mo kanina, Doc, there's the spiritual aspect, there's the mental aspect, there's the physical aspect, and also, in terms of mental, the mindsetting. So, kung hindi mo siya ma-inculcate sa isip mo na eto pala talagang kailangan ko in the future, then medyo mahihirapan tayo. Kasi short term could not lead to long-term gains. It's really more of short-term lang talaga siya.
Yeah. Is it really the culture nowadays? I mean, people, I think we observe na, a lot of people na are joining this cross-training ba? Is that the proper word?
Yes.
So is it now? Is it a fad now? I mean, what do you know about this? I mean, I see a lot of people joining this cross as compared to your conventional
The global gyms,
gyms.
Not only normal people or not only people. I mean, a lot of professional
Animals? Oh.
a lot of professional athletes are actually going into cross training.
Cross training, yes.
It's because of the intensity of the workout, and if you're a professional athlete, it's a very useful trait. Like for example, it will improve your stamina, it will improve your endurance.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are in it, not just regular dudes like me. But also for professional athletes as well.
Probably the common thing there right now is the functionality. Ito na yung
Yeah.
mention
Yeah,
natin
yes.
right now, the functional things, the functional movements, because gone are the days na nga na it's just for the bicep, it's just for the chest, it's just for the abs. So, ang nangyayari ngayon, there's that big acceptance already of being functional, of being fit for the long term. So, why is it parang booming right now, the functional aspect of working out? It's because of that. Na parang na-shorten na kasi yung age ngayon. Meaning to say, the high risk na of dying at a young age. So, gusto na ng lahat long term. Gusto na ng lahat mag-reach pa na sila ng 80, ng 90 or 70. So, yun na yung para nakikita nila. That's a good thing. As a coach, that's a good thing right now kasi hindi na kami mahihirapan in terms of telling them na we should be working for the long term.
Yeah, it's just but practical, no? Kasi it's functional, so parang you can use it to your activities of daily living.
Yes.
Parang hindi lang yung parang if you're just going to the gym, you bulk up, you have this big pecs. So what are you gonna do with that?
Yes.
Aside from siguro looking good.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go home and then lift your bed or lift your cabinets. Maybe for some, I don't know. Pero yung dapat functional ka talaga, and then you can apply it to your daily living.
Yeah.
So that's what makes people think na, ito yung gusto ko. Kasi magagamit ko to sa work, magagamit ko to sa bahay. So yun yung thing. And then you're not getting tired kasi you're training your stamina, nako-condition yung endurance mo. So you have to be ready for everything. Hindi lang yung you have to be ready to lift that table. You have to be ready to have those encounter those strenuous exercise at home, whether it's lifting that or running there, jumping, rolling up. Ready ka kasi functional ka talaga, and then your whole body is conditioned for it, for any specific task that demands.
And I don't know maybe people are having the kasi parang may stigma na kasi for people who are lifting weights. It is parang highly they're attributed sa use of steroids. So parang the lifting of weights, parang medyo winaward off niya na yung mga people, and maybe, just maybe, a lot of people are jumping from lifting weights to CrossFit kasi they look at CrossFit as a healthier alternative to lifting weights because of the wrong
usage of the steroids.
I mean the wrong image of bodybuilding.
If you're into competing, I guess, you're into, siguro you will go in that bubble na parang, sige, ito yung community ko, ito yung mga taong in my circle na they're really using these prohibited drugs. Pero if you're just into recreational workouts, hindi naman, it's rare. And then you, in fairness to all of them naman, yung people na really serious about it, hindi rin sila, and then they're just walking through the healthier path, hindi sila nagsisteroids. They're also conscious about their diet, and then they also have this strenuous and effective way of working out, which also which also conditions your body. So yung depende lang talaga, like coach, no, yung anong gagawin mo diyan. So is it yung priority mo is to look good, be bigger, kompleto yung form ng muscle mo, or functionality? Kasi yung if you have the big body, yung malaki talaga, like sino ba yung mga malalaking muscles talaga dyan na celebrity, ask them to run, sprint, ask them to do that, they cannot. They'll just tire out. Sa mga UFC, di ba? Yung mga fit talaga dapat. Hindi yung, although they have power, they have strength, pero up to what time, di ba? Mag-fatigue lang sila.
And it has been proven in fights that some leaner athletes are actually they can last long
Longer.
than
They last
the muscular ano eh.
So long
So
as
it's,
the bigger
it's
one
an,
won't
it's an
catch you.
advantage on their part.
Yun ang advantage.
Oo,
Pero
yeah.
if the bigger one catch you straight to your face,
Yeah.
knockout ka.
Yeah.
Pero yun na nga,
Yeah.
you just weather the storm. Parang sige, in the long run, ako na to. Ikaw, tired ka na.
But my point is why people are actually jumping from bodybuilding to CrossFit is because of that aspect.
Yeah. The functionality.
It's
The
a more
functionality nila.
holistic approach
Yeah,
to
that's the
being
word.
healthy.
True.
Yeah.
I'm not
As opposed to just lifting.
yeah.
Well, they are
weights.
healthy also, in fairness to them.
Yeah.
Yun na nga, we're not taking away the benefits of the bodybuilding.
Yes.
It's still it has their own it has its own benefit for the
Advantages.
person,
Yes,
advantages
of
for the
course,
person.
yeah.
So it boils down to relativity. It boils down to the perspective of the person. Kung
Yes.
saan siya hiyang,
Yeah.
good. In fact, in terms of the cross training also na perspective, there's a lot of programs na in relation to cross training, in relation to functional movement. So ang ano lang dito is as a coach, if you get yourself to move on a daily basis, probably 30 minutes a day minimum,
Yeah.
you're good to
You're
go.
good.
Yeah. In fact, what's very nice right now is the Android watches. I mean the digital
The
watches,
technology that we have right now.
we have. So it's telling you that you need to be fit. You're already fit somehow in a day when you're able to walk
If you
certain
reach a
distances.
certain
The required
parang
amount of steps.
required
Steps.
daily. Yeah.
Kasi yun pa lang, ginigage niya na, for this person at this age, at this height, things like that, ganito yung requirement mo of steps. That's the very basic.
So, yung benefit ng technology ngayon.
Right now, yes.
Erwin is really pensive. I mean, ano kaya ang dapat yung working out or CrossFit? What do you think?
Pero ang ano naman, Kerr,
What
Naisip
fits
ko
you?
kung mag-stop na tayo.
If you're going out now and then you felt the need to stay fit or be fit, what would you choose? Would you choose the conventional Globo gym or cross training?
Siyempre kung saan mas mura. yun lang, bottom line lang. Kasi both would probably make me slimmer, make me fitter. Pero
Keep in mind, 80% of that factor is diet.
Yun nga mabigat dun eh. Pero
What's your choice again?
No, it's not a choice.
What's your question?
Conventional gyms, ba?
Yeah, conventional gym or the cross training.
Conventional
What's
gym,
your priority ba?
like lifting weights,
Yeah, lifting
or
weights.
Lifting weights. Depends on your priority, I guess. You,
Yeah.
let me ask you that question.
yeah. It depends on my priority. If my
Don't
priority
give me a maalaala mo kaya.
no. If my priority is I want to be healthy, then I would go for the Globo Gym thing, the CrossFit, because of the cardio.
The Globo Gym is different from
different.
CrossFit, diba?
The global
Yeah.
gym is the conventional gym.
Conventional gym.
Okay. Sorry. And I would go for CrossFit because of cardio.
Okay.
Yeah, because
You can incorporate cardio in
Treadmill.
in the
but
gym.
not that much.
Treadmill.
Not that much. I prefer the cross training and the running and a lot of exercises that has something to do with your cardiac workout.
Pero is there a difference ba din talaga between the two? I mean, wouldn't
Yeah.
both be equally efficient then in making me fit?
Coach.
In terms of there's a big difference in terms of how you do the workout in terms of the conventional one and the cross training part.
First, let's define what's the conventional.
The conventional is
So
your
this is yung Globo Gym.
yes, the
Global
global
Gym ni
gym.
Marcus.
Conventional
I
gym.
just got it from Coach. Global Gym.
So anyway, with that one, with the conventional gym, it usually starts with a treadmill. Diba? So you warm up and then stretch, and then you go for the Monday. I go for chest. Tuesday I go for legs or the arms, things like that. So
Iba
there's
naisip ko.
what? Ano ba sa'yo?
Ano ba yung naisip mo?
Sorry, force of habit. Personality.
Anyways, going back.
Going back dun siya. There's this parang 1 week rounder lang na programming for you. So you're targeting specific muscle groups lang for the conventional gym. As for the cross training, you're targeting the whole body every day. And then apart from that, yes, they do have at the end of the line, they would have the same effect, if ever, in terms of physique and health markers. But which is faster na maka-achieve nung benefit na yon? It would be on the cross-training side. Why? Because of the high-intensity part. If ever your heart is pumping faster, then you're working out. You're working out more, and then
You're burning more.
You're burning more, pumping blood faster, burning more, burning calories more. Basically, with a high intensity type of scheme, you'll be able to achieve that benefit faster. So yeah, that's the main difference there. Timeline. Saan yung mas mabilis mo ma-achieve? Yung goal mo na mag-lessen down yung weight mo, or
you want to gain more muscles. If you want to gain more muscles, then you have to lift
But if
those
I'll
weights.
give him a program in the gym, na circuit training, do this push-up, and then after that you do this.
What's
dips.
circuit training?
It's more like iba-ibang sets of exercise, right? Ito
That's,
dito muna.
yeah.
Then,
So yung circuit training is already a cross training. It's not
It's
the
considered
Cross-training.
Cross-training siya,
Yes.
you're doing
Alright.
in a traditional
Yes.
gym. Okay.
in a traditional gym, yes. So
okay.
you need a certain space for that one, because what you'll be doing is, in terms of the circuit, you're given a lot of stations. Let's say
Yeah.
5 to 10 stations, and then per station you have different movements to do.
I used to do that sa conventional gym. So I don't have time to rest. So yung rest ko, for example, I do the chest here, and then after that, after a few reps, I'll run towards the shoulders, and then after the shoulders, I'll run towards the back.
Yeah.
Dire-diretso. So yung rest ko yun dun sa ibang body part. So ma-rest ko yung this part na nagamit ko lang a
Is
while
that what you
ago.
call supersets?
No,
No,
not,
different.
not
So
the
supersets are
Supersets naman
entirely different.
entirely different. It pertains to a certain exercise or workout na medyo super yung sets mo.
Okay.
Parang gano'n.
So parang you're trying to exhaust your muscles.
Yeah.
Parang ganun.
That's in
Yung
line with the
superset.
conventional gym already.
Ah, okay.
So those are the part of the program for the conventional gym.
All right.
So-
Thank you for educating me. Kasi, ano eh.
Ang ano din kasi dun is, sa conventional, you're really targeting specific muscle groups on a daily basis. So we have the chest and bicep, things like that.
Yeah.
We have the arms and tricep, things like that. So
And most of the people who do that are actually trying to look good.
yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Tama,
Yeah.
diba?
Yun nga yung
ano
ano ko
eh.
dyan eh. Is this are people going to the gyms lately, nowadays, dahil gusto nila maging maging fit, or are they just want to look good?
Yan din.
Siguro,
It's a millennial thing eh, na.
staying fit while looking good. Parang ganun yung idea dun. So parang it follows both ways. Parang if you wanna stay fit,
Pero is it
eventually
normally
you
the
look
case,
good.
or are most people into it dahil
Are they
With our
are
culture,
they,
I guess.
Are they drawn to it because
They
they
want
want
to
to
be
look
fit?
good,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
they want to be healthy? These are two different
I
things.
wanna
eh.
ask you that question. If you wanna go to the gym, is it? I guess you answered that. a while ago,
Yeah,
na you wanna
because you want to be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, ako din. Gusto ko rin maging healthy.
Right, It's
Sino ba
it's
naman
it's just a
ayaw?
bonus if my body looks good, then
Pero
Yeah.
most people, would you agree na most people you see are into it dahil gusto lang nila mas sexy sila, mas
Yeah.
ano sila?
In
Meron,
terms of
yes.
probably
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of our place right now. Probably the younger generation would percentage wise, 100% of the millennials, 100% of the younger generation would come to me and tell me, I want to look better.
Ano ba yung demographics, ni age demographic? Are they in the younger side? Yung ano mo?
Super spread out. Actually, the youngest is 13 years old,
30.
and then the
13?
yes, 13. Tapos the oldest is
so this
57.
13-year-old person gusto niyo bang maging healthy, or
And
does
that's
he
the
or
thing.
she wants to just
Ang
to look
ang
good?
influencer nung 13 years old, basically nag-sponsor sa kanya yung tita niya, because nakita na health markers wise mataas yung cholesterol niya at a 13-year-old.
At a very young age.
Very young
Okay.
age. So kaya pinapasok siya sa akin, sa Fuerza, and then I know the influencer. So anyway, going back, In terms of the age range, probably 20 years old to 35 for those who can afford, for those who are thinking of themselves already. Most of them, probably all of them, are thinking, I want to look good. Late na yung I want to be healthy because nandito na yung mga health mark 40 years old above. So dito na nila na feel na medyo may something na ako, iba na. So going back to your question, are they going towards looking good or being healthy? A bulk of my clients right now or my community members are into looking good. So it's my duty as a coach na to mindset them na it's not just about looking good. It's really about the long term, health wise, things like that.
If you guys enjoyed this episode or if you want more of this episode, please join us on our part 2 of this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we drop a new episode. Just follow this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. This has been your host. My name is Pom.
And this is Kervin.
Marcus.
Stay safe, keep healthy, stay fit. Sayonara.
Hapon.
Good job. Nice.
Oh, picture.
Yes.
Ano ba?
Wala. Diba ito yung time na...
Workout ka ba?
Gusto mo na mag-workout? Sige.
Yun. Sama-sama.
Sa akin din. Sa akin din dito.
Alya lang po. Okay, kay... Alya lang po niyo. Your phone, you want?
Dito mo lang ilagay.
Oo.
Naubos natin yung memory card.
Saan nakat?
Hindi ko nga alam eh. Pero ngayon, memory card naman yung ano. Nagulat ako kasi hindi mo lang maubos yan. More than yung dalawa kasi pareho lang yung recording times na yun.
Kaya pala you look bothered.
Kanina.
Alam na namin yan eh.